Young assets like Moses Moody and Brandon Podziemski.
Oh, nah, I ain't gonna lie. A lot of niggas don't like Pods, bro. But Pods is like a come off the bench type. Well, not no more. He probably gonna have to start. But like
Last year, Steph points to Moody to pass so that Steph can get this open look, but instead ball stops with JK, and look at Steph's body language. He's like, here we go, it's Jonathan Kuminga time. And sure enough, no pass. Steph, though, he's pointing.
And I know the coaches be telling them niggas like, hey, don't show emotion. Don't like Steph like, all right, bro, this nigga got the ball again. Fuck.
Here.
YouTube side, you right there, Latwan. You already know, you know what I need from you, bro. Hit that button. I don't know what color it's gonna turn. They doing so many motherfucking updates. It's gonna turn white, gray, black, red. It's gonna turn one of them bitches. Hit that sub button and hit the like button, twin. Today, we got a major Warriors trade is coming. Shout out my boy AM Hoop. Shout out Casey. You feel me? He giving us all the updates on the back end and the front end. No Diddy. No Diddy. No Diddy. No Diddy. Okay. We got Jimmy up here.
Jimmy Butler clicking with Steph Curry, and now they have a chance for a difference-making trade. Jonathan Kuminga officially demanded that the Warriors have turned a corner and are climbing up the standings. Jimmy Butler clicking with Steph Curry, and now they have a chance for a different
clicking with Steph. Okay, so yeah.
Making trade. Jonathan Kuminga officially demanded a trade this week, and Golden State's got more assets than you might think.
Didn't he get like hella DNPs? I'm pretty sure Kuminga had like hella DNPs, like games he did not play minutes at all.
Salaries of JK and Buddy Hield, who's fallen out of the rotation. Young assets like Moses Moody and Brandon Podziemski.
Oh, nah, I ain't gonna lie. A lot of niggas don't like Pods, bro. But Pods is like a come off the bench type. Well, not no more. He probably gonna have to start. But like, we're gonna see what's going on.
Control of 6 first-round picks. That is enough for a massive trade to give Steph one last shot at contention. But tons of new info now on conversations with other teams. The Lakers, Kings, Mavericks, and Nets, among others. But we know the Kuminga situation has been bad. This year, downright toxic. Kuminga was so frustrated about not playing, he faked an injury as a screw you to Steve Kerr. But most New Year's resolutions fade by February. Mom thinks circling temper call had lower back therapy. So 1 hour before tip-off on December 2nd, Kuminga had lower back soreness, but an anonymous teammate said he wasn't hurt at all. I wouldn't have played either. It is clear the coach doesn't believe in him. So what's Steve Kerr's problem? Dude's 23 years old and the most athletic guy on an old, slow team. I mean, when Steph went down last year, JK averaged 23 points in the second round of the playoffs. Well, first off, Kerr didn't want JK to begin with. A report says that he told the front office to draft Franz Wagner in the 2021 draft instead. Then when
that would have been scary. Jimmy, Franz, and Steph, that would have been scary. Quentin Post too, that would have been scary. That would have been scary.
JK arrived, he never really bought in to the Warriors' motion-cutting offense.
Oh, no,
so for 5 long years, they begged him to please play off ball. Smart defense, cut, rebound, you know, role player things. And we would see it a few games, but every time, eventually, it was the Jonathan Kuminga show, baby. Dude just wants the ball in his hands, which disrupts the offense and leads to less Steph Curry. For example, last year, Steph points to Moody to pass so that Steph can get this open look, but instead ball stops with JK, and look at Steph's body language. He's like, here we go, it's Jonathan Kuminga time. And sure enough, no pass. Steph, though, he's pointing.
And I know the coaches be telling them niggas like, hey, don't show emotion. Don't like Steph like, all right, bro, this nigga got the ball again. Fuck.
Here we go, it's Jonathan Kuminga time. And sure enough, no pass.
Like, look at the shoes he got on. His socks too fucking high.
Steph, though, he's pointing. He's like, dude, Moses Moody open in the corner. But no, Kuminga brick. But also, I mean, Kerr didn't exactly want to develop the young kids. Like, if Kuminga wasn't ready, Kerr was like, well, I don't have time. DNP, DNP, DNP. So whose fault is this actually? Kerr, Kuminga? Honestly, the front office How do you not trade Kuminga 3 years ago when it was obvious to everyone this wasn't gonna work? And over the years, there were JK rumors for like Pascal Siakam, OG Anunoby, Miles Turner. But now, it's like holding on to a house waiting for the perfect offer. Then we have a market crash, and you're stuck with some old building no one wants. So we will go over the trade market and how it fits into a big, massive deal. But the big fear is the story of the end of the Warriors dynasty will be the failure of their 2020 and 2021 drafts when they had 3 lottery picks. By the way, context, drafting and developing talent is hard. There's a skill to it, but you also need to get lucky.
And really? We saying all this shit to say if you still a Warriors fan in 2026, my boy, you're cooked. You're cooked, my guy. You're cooked. You're cooked.
All they got from 3 lottery picks was Moses Moody. That is
3 lottery
ugly.
picks and they got Moses
And the
Moody.
Athletic reports in the 2021 draft, Warrior vets were begging the front office to trade the picks for a star, but they said no. Then when it was clear JK wasn't working, they refused to trade him, hoping it would get better. So this is the last chance to turn it all around. If the Warriors can package Kuminga with those other assets we talked about for an impact player, which they need, even Kerr admitted, we're not where we were 5-6 years ago. I just don't want anyone to think that we're delusional and should be competing for titles year in, year out with San Antonio and OKC. That's not realistic. Wow. I mean, it's honest, but to admit that in public is like defeating. Like, why are we even trying? Or maybe it was a message to the front office. And the good news is that JK contract is not toxic. Last offseason, he held out but settled for 2 years, $40+ million with a team option. That means whoever gets JK can let him expire or take a flyer on a 23-year-old 6'7" wing who scored 24 points in the playoffs. I mean, after all, nobody plays the Warriors system, so maybe with a change of scenery and a different coach, he could pop off. So who is calling right now? Well, Kuminga's trade value is low because rival teams know that the relationship is dead and the team has benched him for like a month. So in response, Golden State leaked. Now team sources insist that they're willing to keep Kuminga on the roster for the remainder of the season. Now that is classic negotiation, not realistic. So before the season, the Suns were interested, but not anymore. They are way better than expected and don't want to mess with their chemistry. The other summer team, Sacramento, they want to send Malik.
Look though. Nah, wait, Trae Young on the Kings or the Wizards? I think he on the Wizards. Never mind.
Monk, but the Warriors will only take his long-term contract if they send Keon Ellis in the deal too. Dubs also want Trey Murphy from New Orleans, but the Pels somehow have 0 players on the market despite being last place in the West. The Lakers have interest, but they could only send maybe a role player. What about difference-making trades? I mean, this is Steph Curry we're talking about. The only reason anyone cares about any of this is if Steph has a chance to win ring number 5. So how does JK fit into that? Well, Michael
niggas still rooting for the Warriors. They just hoping that Steph can get another ring, bro. Realistically, Steph and Draymond. Because Clay gone. Clay been gone.
Porter Jr. is peaking as a player right now, dropping 26 points a game, 8 boards, and showing playmaking skills. 40% from deep with shot creation. Dude is getting major trade interest around the league. And Jonathan Kuminga is not gonna cut it. Chris Mannix reports that the Nets are more interested in draft capital than JK. So what does that look like? Well, the Nets get Kuminga, Buddy Hield, Al Horford, Trae Jackson Davis, and control of 2 first-round picks. Warriors get MPJ. Now this could take 3 teams to move all these salaries around, but you get the point. Do the Warriors find this too steep? No, those 2 picks are not the most valuable that the Dubs could offer. But I wish that Domantas Sabonis was healthy. He has been out since November 16th with a knee issue. But dude, he's perfect. He's got both the scoring and playmaking that Golden State needs. And we know that the Kings are like the one interested team in Jonathan Kuminga. It feels crazy to trade for an injured player, but he wants to come back this season, and maybe that lowers his trade value a bit. So why not the Warriors get Domas and Keon Ellis, And the Kings get JK, Moses Moody, Buddy Hield, Al Horford, 2028 first and 2029 swap.
I don't think they really
We
need
know
that.
Sack values JK, and this package would steal both of the Kings' most valuable players. But Shams also specifically mentioned the Dallas Mavericks. Now, at first, we all think of Anthony Davis, but let's just assume that he's out of the trade discussion with a hand issue. What else could the Mavericks be offering? Well, what about the Mavericks get JK and Buddy Hield for just Daniel Gafford and Klay Thompson? So the Warriors do need center help after Al Horford's rough start. But the headline here is Klay.
I'm not even mad at
Dude
this.
coming back to the Bay Bank so much since, and reports say he is actually open to it. Now, this might not be the deal that wins that title, but at least put some positive vibes back into the fan base. But I think the Warriors are bluffing about keeping Jonathan Kuminga. Dude is gone before the deadline. It has been 5 miserable years, and now they will sell low. The real question, can JK be a part of a bigger deal to give Steph one last shot at a ring? And speaking of trades, the Lakers have beef with LeBron's agent right now for suggesting that Austin Reeves should be in the deal. But does Rich Paul actually have a point about his fit on the roster?
W video, Casey.